Hey there and welcome back. So what I'm dubbing the odd job extravaganza is I have my trusty list here. So what I have to do is make a MFT table or multi-function table. So I'll go through in a second exactly what that is. I have to run some of the network cabling and terminate that. That's pretty tedious but straightforward. I have to mount my clamp rack. So I have a clamp rack I made ages ago in my old workshop. I'm just going to mount that to one of the walls. And I do plan to redo it in a later video, but it'll do for now. It's functional. It's not so easy on the eye, but it works. I have a timber rack I want to put up on the wall up there. Also, I have some blinds I want to put up on this window here, and I also want to mount my television. So I bought a TV from Kogan for about 200 bucks. I want to put some speakers in there, Apple TV and all those kind of good things, so I can just start rocking out to some tunes. And that's pretty much it. So let's cut to the first little job we have to do. Hey there, so I'm down at my little makeshift assembly table, and what I have in front of me is a sheet of MDF. It's 1200 by 1200, so really decent size and good for assembling things. And what I'm going to be doing is using this UKJ path guide system that I bought a couple of years ago for about maybe 250 British pounds. So quite expensive in Australian dollar dues. But what it allows you to do is drill out a series of 20mm holes in perfect 90-degree angles from one another. So if you're using a track saw, it's perfect because you can have a series of bench dogs organized in a way that allows you to create that cut at 90 degrees. And what I have here behind me also is a few sheets of melamine, which I plan to use for the upper cabinets. So I won't go into full detail of how to use this system. The person that actually makes it has a really descriptive way of how to use it, how it works, and yeah, I'll link that in the description below or one of those tabs up the top. But I have everything I need, I think. Probably halfway through I'll have to run out and grab some stuff. It's a lot easier than digging a hole. So instead, what I'm going to be doing is drilling some holes. So let's get started. And there you have it, easy as. So we have a fully functioning, multi-function table. So I can put that on that borer, caterpillar or centipede thing, and I can make right angle cuts, which would be perfect for my upper cabinets, which I plan to make in an upcoming video. So stay tuned for that one. So next up on the odd job extravaganza is just a quick and easy mounting a clamp rack. I made the clamp rack ages ago in my previous workshop. I do plan to redo it and actually make it a little bit larger because I made it for exactly the number of clamps I had, but we all know you always need more clamps. So I'm gonna mount that up here and let's cut to it. Hey there, so in the odd job extravaganza today, what we're going to be doing is terminating some of these network cables I have running through the wall of the shed, down through that trench that we dug out. Wow, I don't want to do that again. And under the house, up through the floor, up through a cupboard, going over the cupboard and back down into a little server rack I have at the top of one of the cupboards there, and getting terminated into a back of a patch panel. That was easy because it's just back of a patch panel. The wall plate I have coming here is a 4-port wall plate. I have 4 cables, so maths adds up. And what they have is I'm not a big fan of it, is a RJ45 head on both sides. So you terminate these, you plug it into the back of the patch panel, and then what you do, you have a RJ45 female socket on the outside, and you can run that, what's called a fly lead, down to other little bits. Now, the reason why I'm not a fan of them is that we've all seen those little network connectors, the little head kind of pop off, and then they come in and out easy of the plug. That shouldn't happen inside the wall, but if there is any movement or if there's anything going on and stuff moves around inside, like I'm doing something there and accidentally pull on one of the cables, it can actually pull that cable out of that socket. So I'm not a big fan, and the last thing I want to be doing is diagnosing a network issue to find out it's inside the wall. So that's going to be a frustrating thing. You know, it is what it is. So those 4-port patch panels, you can buy them from Amazon. I'll have a link in the description. They're about a third of the price than you can buy at Bunnings. And to be honest, the ones at Bunnings, they're fine, but I like the look of these specific ones anyway. And they're a third of the price, and they get delivered to your house, so winning. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into terminating the end of some network cables, and we'll just leave them there. I might move that switch a little bit later on, but we'll see how we go. So let's get to it. Hey, so I have the 4-port wall mount already up there. It's already screwed in, cables already plugged in. They're running through the wall and up into the study. I've run a couple of cables to the back of the television. I just made another hole in the back of the TV, ran it through this wall here. It's pretty straightforward. And I also ran the 12 volt that's needed to power the switch itself. Now, anyone else would think that 14 power points would be enough, but I should have made a 15th up here. That's cool, because I can run just a 12 volt cable through the wall, and that's easy as that. So next up, what we're going to be doing is mounting the switch to the wall, and it's pretty straightforward. So where you see in the back of any kind of devices like this, you have a little screw holes or ability to put little screws. You can't really put it through the device itself because it might not work anymore. But what we can actually do is put a little bit of tape over the top, scribble over that tape to get where the mounting points are, take the tape off, put it on the wall where you want it, and then start screwing through. And then what you'll see is that you'll have perfectly aligned screw holes with those center points there, and there's no mucking about. So let's mount this thing up on the wall, and there we go. Easy as that. Now, I think it's on to the next job. Let's get to it. Hey there, and welcome back. So, a little makeshift office for myself I built. But next job is the Bora multi-level wall rack. So what we've got here is a couple of metal vertical posts and a bunch of these, or about a dozen or so of these arms that the timber can sit on. And how it works is a bit of a cantilever approach. And essentially that's just there. I haven't fixed it in or anything like that, but that's just there under its own weight. And how to fix it to the wall is that you have a few of these spaces and it kind of props it up out of the wall about 40 millimeters or so. So what I have here is a 65 millimeter screw, plan to go through and then through to the 15 mil plywood sheets. And I'll try to snag one of those horizontal studs that I put in as well. But I reckon this one shouldn't take too long, so let's get started. So the next job is to mount a little television just here. So I just want to have a little bit of audio, some YouTube, and some Apple TV as well. So maybe when I get kicked out of the house, I can watch TV in here. So it's pretty straightforward. I got a little mount from Amazon and also just bought a TV off Kogan, which was like $200, and it's a 43-inch television. But let's get on with it. So that was super easy. A couple of screws. Really helps that there's plywood, so I don't have to use a stud finder or try to find a stud or anything. So easy as, let's have a look at what's in TV, huh? And welcome back. So what we are doing today is that we're going to be putting the plywood wall. I know that guy. So mounting blinds is actually pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. There's a company I use called Blinds Online. Seem pretty good. Come in about a week. I find that every single time I order, they double check the measurements and stuff. All you do is just measure the opening and then the drop, and then you got so many colors to choose from. I just went gray, so it's nice and easy. But you have two types of brackets, one for the left and one for the right, depending on where you put the chain as well. And you basically screw them in to the opening and click the blinds in, and then it should be working anyway. I know that this is level anyway, so I don't really need to kind of get the spirit level out, but if you're putting it at your house or if you're putting it somewhere else, you might want to make sure it's level, because as it drops, it's gonna peel off to the left or the right, and it's actually gonna hit the side of the trim. So let's get started. Hey, so that concludes the odd job extravaganza. I hope you enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed doing some of those little jobs. It just genuinely felt like I achieved a lot, and it was only a couple of days, so it was fantastic. So I got the Switch, I got internet in here, I got TV, I've been rocking out to some tunes, which has been fantastic. I'm looking at my clamp rack and it looks pretty small, so I think I might need to expand it. And if I expand it, I need to put more clamps in it, right? That's how it works. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And I'm also looking at that timber rack, which is completely loaded up now and hasn't fallen down. So I am definitely winning in that category. And the blinds, doing what blinds do, keeping the sunlight out, which is nice. And it keeps it a lot cooler in here as well during the day, which is lovely. So next up on the agenda is the upper cabinets. So stay tuned for that next week. And if you do enjoy this content, please consider liking, subscribing, and all those good things. And also leave a comment. I really enjoy reading some of the comments that are coming through. I reply to every single one of them. So please leave a comment and I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye.